Most people don't realize how deeply a year in Europe can transform everyday expectations. It's not just museums or historic sites that change your outlook. Imagine stepping into a train station in Vienna on a weekday morning, surrounded by people moving calmly to their destinations. No one rushes with coffee to go, and there's little sign of hurry. What if much of what's considered normal in the US, work routines, healthcare, or street life, suddenly looked unfamiliar? This isn't just another travel video. Real accounts and research from Americans on forums and in testimonials reveal how daily life shifts for those who live across the Atlantic for more than a few weeks. These are the 10 biggest ways life abroad can redefine what you thought you knew. These findings cut through common stereotypes. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe. Number 10. Work-life balance. Americans are used to seeing long work hours as a sign of dedication. In much of Europe, the workday typically ends on time, and personal hours aren't treated as negotiable. Countries like Germany and France offer at least 4 to 6 weeks paid vacation as a routine benefit. Lunch breaks often last a full hour or more, with people enjoying meals at local cafes rather than eating at desks. Evening work meetings are rare. For Americans who expect messages at all hours, this adjustment can feel like finally receiving permission to relax. The goal isn't to work less, but to protect time for family and hobbies. This raises a common question. If quality of life comes from strong boundaries, does working longer really lead to more satisfaction? Maybe you've noticed this yourself. Was the job that took your evenings more valuable, or the one that let you rest after work? Number 9. Everyday safety. News in the US often focuses on violent crime. In many European cities, people walk home late at night or let children play in public without much worry. Cobblestone plazas in Prague or Copenhagen stay active after dark, and there's little sense of anxiety. Firearms are tightly controlled in most European countries. Annual gun-related deaths in the US regularly exceed 4,000, while most European countries report far lower numbers. Pickpocketing remains a risk in busy places, but violence is much less common. Many Americans describe a quiet sense of relief, noticing tension recedes from daily life. These visible differences often lead to bigger questions about policies and priorities back home. Number 8. Healthcare costs. The price of healthcare often stands out the most. In the US, even those with insurance pay thousands for emergencies, and a routine doctor visit can be $150 to $300 or more. In the UK, a doctor's appointment through the National Health Service comes at no charge at the point of use. In France, basic appointments often cost less than $25, and prescription medications can be around 70% cheaper than in the US. No one receives insurance paperwork after a hospital visit. Major surgery, childbirth, and cancer care tend to be heavily subsidized or capped in price. Americans who once delayed care due to high bills find they're encouraged to see doctors early and often. The result isn't just savings, but also a sense of well-being, with physicians spending more time per patient. The constant worry over medical debt disappears. Number 7. Food standards. Markets and grocery stores across Europe show clear differences. Fresh strawberries at a market in Florence, bread from a Berlin bakery, or fish caught in Barcelona that morning. Supermarkets highlight locally sourced foods and short supply chains. Many food dyes, artificial preservatives, and high-fructose corn syrup are restricted or banned. Even pre-packaged meals use fewer additives. Good ingredients aren't reserved for the wealthy, fresh baguettes sell for less than $1, and seasonal produce comes from nearby farms. Meals are regularly eaten together at home or in restaurants, usually without rushing. Over time, some Americans find that processed snacks from home taste heavier or overly sweet by comparison. Many report feeling healthier and more energetic, simply due to the changes in everyday diet. Number 6. Public transit. Most U.S. cities depend on cars for daily life. In Europe, high-speed trains connect capitals, trams run along city streets, and buses link neighborhoods day and night. A train ticket from Amsterdam to Paris starts at about $35 for over 300 miles in under 4 hours. Subway and tram systems in Budapest, Vienna, and elsewhere operate at frequent intervals. Monthly passes in Berlin or Madrid usually cost $60 to $85. For Americans, using public transport means fewer costs for insurance and parking. Children and retirees often share buses or trains for everyday trips. Routine walking or cycling becomes a practical part of the day. Most are surprised by how quickly this access changes daily habits and a sense of freedom. Number 5. Language skills. Sitting in a Brussels cafe, it's common to hear conversations switch from French to Dutch to English. In Sweden and elsewhere, young students respond in English with ease. Most European children begin foreign languages in kindergarten, and by adulthood, about 65% can converse in at least 2 languages. By comparison, about 20% of Americans claim any foreign language skill, with far fewer reaching fluency. Many Americans feel behind during early conversations. Over time, learning greetings and everyday phrases helps build connections and trust. Understanding news or jokes in another language adds depth to daily experience and opens new perspectives. The view of language shifts from a barrier to a basic social tool. Number 4. Education access. Student debt remains a heavy burden for many young Americans, with average borrowers owing more than $3,000. In Germany, tuition at public universities is zero for residents and often for foreigners as well. Norway and Sweden offer free or low-cost options, with university fees often below $1,000 a year. Arts, music, and language are emphasized in public schools, not just math and science. Vocational training is respected and leads to stable employment. Without the pressure of large loans, students pursue broader interests. Teachers emphasize problem-solving and group projects rather than high-stakes testing. Parents adjusting to this approach notice less student stress and wider opportunity. By now, you might be comparing it to your own life. Did your schooling open more options or limit you with long-term bills? Number 3. Pace of life. Time moves differently across Europe. Restaurant dinners in Rome or Madrid often last several hours. Sundays bring quiet, as businesses close and families gather for meals. Daily routines include regular shopping at markets or visits with friends. Coffee is sipped at a table, not rushed through a drive-thru. In earlier American decades, weekends might include shopping malls and yard work. In Europe, old habits like long meals and community walks remain strong. Many Americans initially notice restlessness, but most grow to value the quieter tempo and deeper focus on immediate surroundings. Number 2. Community ties. American life in large suburbs or cities can feel anonymous. In Europe, neighborhoods act more like small communities. Shopkeepers greet people by name, locals catch up at markets, and public parks stay busy with conversation. Village festivals in France or shared benches in Lisbon remind residents of earlier times. Wide sidewalks, fountains, and public seating invite people to linger together. For those used to private yards and long commutes, daily errands involve more face-to-face encounters. Relationships build through repeated real-world contact rather than online alone. It's a small detail, but it can change everyday life. How often do you unexpectedly meet someone familiar on your daily walk? Number 1. Cultural contradictions. American culture is defined by risk-taking and innovation, seen in small businesses, startups, and a focus on entrepreneurship. In Europe, the advantage often lies in predictability. Healthcare, social services, and public spaces are designed to reduce surprises. Coming back to the U.S., Americans often notice larger portions at restaurants, constant advertising, and tipping expectations, even when service charges are included elsewhere. Life may feel louder or more commercial, while in Europe routines often seem more settled. These contrasts highlight a core contradiction. The U.S. offers wider individual choices, but those come with less stability. Think about your own experience for a moment. When have you visited or lived abroad and suddenly realized a daily habit you'd always taken for granted was different, or even unnecessary? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.